Alright, I think we're there. We're there. Hello. Yay, that works. Okay, I don't want to help. I want to get rid of the learn more thing, but there we go. Can't do that. Alright, back to it. I need to search up in fact, it might even say on here. You can see progress has been made. So wheels have been painted and just sprayed with some clear lacquer over the top. These wheels are inspired by a car that I first saw, which actually made me fall in love with this car from a magazine, and I'm trying to remember it to the best level of my ability to remember things. And I've done a lot of searching, but unfortunately the magazine is probably from a time just before things appeared on the internet that were published. So there probably are photos on there. I've tried some Google image searches, but I haven't been able to find anything. They seem to be lost in the sands of time. But anyway, I digress. I'll keep buggering on until I can figure this stuff out. I do have some parts left over as well. I know I've got some R-clips for the body, things like that. I've got a small servo extension that I've just grabbed because I may need it for getting things to fit. Although right now at full extension, that servo lead is kind of working, but I'd rather it be, I don't know, a little bit closer. I suppose I could reverse this and this would be closer to there. That's an option. I'm going to try and experiment with that kind of stuff tonight. I've mounted the switch. The speed controller is mounted. The battery's going to connect up through here, but I do need to figure out what to do with the motor wiring. Obviously the motor wires are just too short. The speed controller is mounted that way with the wiring all going sort of horizontal or along the chassis. I can't do that, so I've got to figure out what I can do to sort that out. I've kept the blue wheels. I don't know whether I'll use them. I just think, in terms of, I'm not going for a rally car. I'm going for sort of a mix between things that I saw when I first saw this car and my dream version of it. So, and then when you see the dream version of it, you can then critique my taste. So I've got a couple of options. One is I could get some new cable and I could solder on 2 longer wires, or the other is that I've got some little bullet type connectors here and I could just sort of make some adapters to, it's so close, but it's going to be fouling on suspension components. I think what I probably should do though first is move this and spin it around, and then I can work on, it's very hard to lift off now, but maybe I'll need to spudger it. Maybe not. There it goes. It's up. Hope I've not split. I think I've only lifted the double-sided tape. Yeah, that's all right. I've not split the casing. That was my wiring. Okay, and if I flip it that way, this double-sided tape is getting less and less sticky by the day. And I need to figure out what channel everything goes in, but that's obviously, if that's channel 1, that's got to flip around that way. But other than that, that should go fine. Then I can use some tweezers again to flick this up through. Maybe I can sort of mount this antenna sort of going through here a little bit, possibly. There we go. And that might just about sort of keep it out of the way. And this servo lead can probably go probably to channel 2, I think, or 3. And again, I'll have to flip it. So that's the thing. On a Dumbo RC X6F, I should probably look at what should go in which thing. So let's see what it says. Hopefully it says something like that. That's not the English version. So we've got channel 5 is a rotary switch. Channel 1 is the steering. Okay. So the steering servo needs to go here in channel 1. Lovely. All right. Some BPM, no. I don't know if there's like a power thing. No. I'll have a quick look at what it should be on the receiver. Mix at certain speeds. Mixed mode, no. Range, no. Basic operation. Right. Features. LED indicators. It's already bound, so that's fine. So I guess the throttle is channel 2. So that's this one. Alright. And I can probably sort of tie these together with some kind of, I don't know, maybe a zip tie like this. And I can probably also tie that one together so that stays out of the way. Tamiya zip ties any better than the ones I buy? Maybe. That looked a bit neater. Still nowhere near neat enough because I've also got a light kit that I need to start looking at. Now, the light kit is obviously going to be, not obviously, I don't know how obvious it is. The light kit is probably receiver controlled and probably triggered by the receiver controlled switch. So I should probably think about digging that out. Oh yes, there's lots of servo leads here. This looks worrisome. It also looks like it's a knockoff Tamiya kit. So this is from AliExpress. There's a lot of channels here. Let's just see. This, I mean, this might not work at all. Right, so this has got to sit somewhere. And this is going to need a lot more. I wonder if we're going to need some wire adapters so that different lights all work at the same time. Didn't think that far through. Forward, I mean, I don't want indicators, I don't care about them. Really, I just need a big sea of LEDs that were compatible with each other. This is going to become a huge problem that I was not counting on. So I'm going to need to change something, but that's okay. I mean, how many LEDs do I need? I could probably get a bit of a shopping list and start working that out. What else was really tricky today? Meshing the gears. Fitting this motor is, I mean, for me as a novice, and that motor is still not very securely fitted. Yet the screws are in. The screws are the correct screws, and I'm not very pleased with the fit. And every time I try and tighten it up, I don't really get anywhere. And checking the mesh on the teeth, I would say it probably still needs to go up, but the teeth are together. It's really hard to see. You get a tiny little peephole that you then need to cover. So the cover is actually this little part here. This is actually the last part on this sprue. Do you know, probably 18 months ago, I would have had no idea what the heck a sprue is. But now I have a clue. So it goes over there, covers that hole like that. Oh, what do we need? You got it. Damn right. Grease. Get the grease. This Inox MX6 food grade certified with PTFE. Synthetic grease suitable for rubber. It does have a picture of some gears on it. It smells uncannily like roast chicken, which is a worry. And I'll just put it all over my fingers. But there we go. Now, if the weather behaves tomorrow, I hope to actually go to film the intro for this video. So because I've kind of been hiding what the car is, not very well. And anyone that knows me knows that will know exactly what the car is, because I am predictable. Because I was saying, and I was trying to sort of write an intro, and I feel car people are romantics. People may not want to admit that, but they are romantics. Car people, they want to live a love story, don't they? You know, you think about the car that they rescued from the scrap heap and brought back to concourse level, you know, perfection, that kind of thing. Car people love a redemption story. Car people love an underdog story. So if you're a car person, you're a soppy, helpless romantic, in my view. And well done to you, because the world needs more of that. There's so many people that are obsessed with money. I mean, look, when you grow up poor, money is important for sure. But the older I get, the more important happiness is. I don't, you know, yes, I worry about money, but I probably worry about happiness more. You know, am I doing this? If I do this thing, will it make me happy? Or how long can I do this thing that makes me unhappy before it will make me miserable? That kind of thing is the the narrative and the background of my life. How long can I keep this up? How long will I go before it's just too much and I need to change and do something different? I was looking at my stats the other day and complaining bitterly about channels that have got 12 videos and they've got people spruiking, to help get them to 1,000 subscribers. And I've got 630 videos and I have 583 of the greatest humans in existence who are subscribed to my channel. Nothing against you wonderful people. That being said, help wouldn't go astray, it shouldn't just be up to the 500 to do all the sharing. You try and put goodwill out there in the community, right? So what I thought I'd do is, I don't know, can I name 23 things I have made in the year 2023? And I think it would probably be quite easy to do if I were to go back and sort of try and rattle off a list of things that I did. Because as much as I don't make the greatest videos, I do make stuff in volume. I don't just make stuff. I seem to make quite a lot of it. So maybe there's something in that. I'm just trying to bag up all my extra stuff. I do make in bulk. I can't remember what those little O-rings are for. I have this horrible feeling they're for something that I've just already done. Let me go back and look. No. I'm going to put some glue on the tyres. The shafts, the axles, no. Options. Oh, there's the flange ball bearing instruction. Do I really want to take... I can leave that. Do I really want to take this rear suspension off, this axle, to get to that and change that flanged bearing? Because when I had it that way, it just didn't fit. It really didn't. I think I'll just go with what I've got. The dog's about to start barking because it's there's thunder and lightning, and it's very, very frightening. Ha ha ha. Nah. Matt, you are funny. You are a funny man. All my whinging about it, had I just gone on and read further, the thing is, it would have been nice that some reference to this page was made on the actual page of, hey, if you've got the options, go and look at this page. But that's all right. I don't want to buy aluminium dampers either because I'm boring. I don't want to put urethane bushings in. I mean, look, I could take that off and redo it, but I think I'm just going to run it as is and see what happens. And if I don't have any issues, then I'll just ignore it and pretend it's not there. I reckon that's a good strategy to have. I just get a bit concerned because I've got a couple of extra bits, but I suppose, I don't know, maybe Tammy will give you some extra bits so that, in case you stuff one up. I don't know. I mean, I've certainly got more R-clips than are needed for the body. But I guess, this is a chassis that you get given for different ride heights and stuff like that. And maybe you need separate things. But, I do have two more. Like, I've got two more O-rings that are the same size as the O-rings that went in the axle cups. But by the time I was putting the axle cups on, that bag didn't need to be opened yet. So I'm guessing that they're not part of it. But then you start thinking, well, why were they in it? Why did they come in that bag? It is a very, very curious thing. Two O-rings, yeah, for bag D. So See, that's those ones, yeah. Yep, those are in. High, no O-rings needed there. No O-rings shown there. None shown there. Nothing shown there. Bearings, lock nuts, body clips. So I might cut out the piece for the funny thing is, with that little top hat thing, they've actually also got the washers spun around, which is different. Maybe, no, there's no things left there. I wonder whether if you used a ball differential, whether you'd need the 2 extra things. I mean, I'll keep them. Who knows? I'm sure I could probably run this model with nothing in it, and it would probably still work all right for a little while. But there we go. Put them in the bag. All right, so there's clips. There's a thing that's going to go over there for the battery, which probably looks like one of these. I'd say it's one of those type doodads. A battery housing thing. Then I want to look for some M3 screws and try and put my little battery B15. Yeah. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, B14? I think I am, B15. I mean, I don't need 2 battery guards, but then again, I've got 2, so I guess one stops it. There's one at each end to stop it from flying out. But I think what I'll do is I will cut off all these extra pieces, just in case. So one's going to go on here. This one's going to stop the battery flying out that side. And I got to put an R clip there. R, pirates. The dog's going to bark any moment. The thunder's going to be louder. I was hot today for you, Matt. Woof. Man alive, it was hot. BD9. Are they all the same? I think they might be. It would pay them to just make them all the same, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh no, it is down there. They're stiff. Just want to, in terms of, there we go. One on, and that way the battery housing, the 3D printed housing that I shall screw together presently, can go into there. You can go through there, bump on there, and then that one can keep it safely secured with the thing coming up there, and that can plug in there. But yeah, I've looked around. I've got pieces of wire, but I can't see anything on them that would let me know what kind of gauge wire. So I think it's just easier to wait till tomorrow. I'd even thought about maybe putting on a Dean's and putting just a new lead on there and saying, oh, well, look, it's one plug. But I suppose if I get the Dean's thing around the wrong way, I can't reverse it. So there's that. But yeah, and then I've got my glue. So I'd like to give these wheels 24 hours to properly cure. I'm quite pleased with how they look. But now I'd like to might put an R clip on there. R. and then it says I've got to bend it. I've got to bend it so it's easy to get out. So 1 moment, please, and I will go and acquire my bending equipment. Straightening. No, you want a D-bender. Billy, you look very dejected, my friend. You're looking sad. I have not let you go out to bark at the sky. What kind of an owner am I? Okay. It's starting to rain because I have 2 pallets sitting outside waiting for me to go and collect that I would hopefully clad the last part of my shed door. There we go. Just there you go. That's probably enough bending to at least make it accessible. The other thing I've been told to do is put a zip tie on there. Put a zip tie through and then you can yank the zip tie. Good idea. Have I got it? Maybe I've got a coloured one. That'd be good. Oh, what about a blue one? Oh, made from the same plastic as the wheels, I think. Very nearly. So I'll put a blue zip tie on there and then cut the majority of it off. There we go. It gives me adequate access. So there's a spot that these wires are meant to be zip tied through this little suspension bracket. So I'll be able to run through there and get tied there out of the way. And then we should be golden. It should at least, yeah, it should be drivable. So then the next part is what to do with the with what's left of the. I mean, how concerned should I be that I've got these little pieces? But then again, I know the chassis is set up for 3 different lengths, and there might be parts that I just will not use because of the 3 different lengths. So what have I got? I've got 3 and 4, B3 and B4. I think they are the short sections, so that would be why they're not used. So things like these are the ones I'll probably cut off, and that little spacer I'll cut off and throw in the spares, but those I'm going to sort of chuck them back in the box, but half expect that they are probably going to go the way of the buffalo. No, I'm not doing gold centers. I know they're the BBS style, but I've on those, no, not those. They're mini lights, aren't they? But I wasn't going to get gold centers. The car I'd seen these on, they were actually, I nearly used Rust-Oleum grey, left over from the Dalek, so it would have kind of matched this. The ones I'd seen were from a brand called TSW, which are probably just some no-name cheapy alloys that the person could get. But so you're saying to just sort of peel back the tire, drip of glue, let it go, and just sort of do that 4 spots and let that be it. I mean, they're quite grippy, and I don't know whether I've got the directional tires around the right way, but we shall see. I've got some light bits here, some bits to hold on light buckets and LED clips and stuff like that. So right, onward, and I will try and find some M3 screws, and well, I don't need nuts, do I? I just need M3 screws. Probably M3 about probably about the 10mm size of those, if I've got any left over. Let me see, what do I have? Anything in here? How are they going to fit? I might need some self-tappers. Some self-tappers. Too big. Oh, they're Phillips. Oh dear God. That never happens. Wee ones. Wee ones, wee ones. They are a bit small. 4mm maybe. Well, I do have some 4mm screws, but are they going to be too short? Too long, I should say. Let's see. As Tom Baker said, I shall return. I think these are the same size, unfortunately. So, but I do have some little self-tappers, which might, you never know. As they used to say in the NBA, just stay in there, you never know. Oh, they're a bit thicker. think we're going to need to print this again with a lot more infill, but the principle is sound. There you go. It is just a spacer, so yep, this is the win. But this is delaminating, which is a sign that the printer needs some tuning, or that the filament is getting moist, which would not be unusual, I guess, at current times. So you could probably put one of those little Velcro clips around this, couldn't you? I was watching Who Culture's top 10 best multi-doctor stories. Now, I'm sure you can all guess what came in at number 1. But can you guess where things like, and I mean, look, and I get the titles are corny. Absolutely on board with that. The 5 doctors, the 2 doctors, the 3 doctors is a bit of a corny, naming system, and slightly lazy. But the 2 doctors with Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton came in as the worst. The only one that was worse than that was the Dimensions in Time, where there was the Doctor Who EastEnders crossover. I reckon that was worse than the 3 Doctors. They said, oh, the plot dragged on. I thought, my God, the 3 Doctors was nothing happened for the first 40 minutes. So there you go. There's the batteria holder, as our Lord and Saviour Ave would say. So the middle part is where the electrons are going to be outwardly flowing. So like that, take that off, put that in there, like that. That goes back on. That goes in, and I look like a person that knows what I'm doing. Needs a bit of tweaking. Just a bit of massaging the tweakness. Wow. That's really, really difficult to... There we go. That's in. That's not coming off. And so the electrons stay in there. I might have to put a bit of foam on the end of it. So they stay in there, hopefully not shifting around too much. The speed controller connects up to the motor via some cables there. And then it just gets down to the nasty bit of doing the body. I did find some pinstriping tape today, so I'm happy with that. Now the next job is going to be the hard bit, and then of course once the body is done, then I've got to fit the lights and that kind of stuff and try and figure out. I had no idea that I would probably need this receiver just for the lights. You know, how many channels of lights are there? I mean, I know I don't need them all. I'll be able to tie some of them out of the way. But I've got 3, no, I've got four things. So I wonder whether some wire adapters and I could like put two together. Or is that what you do? Can you maybe like plug some into other ones? Is that why they've got like male and female plugs, and you can sort of go, oh well, I'll connect them together because I'm not going to use them, or they'll just be on all the time, or what? I'm not sure. It's strange though that why do some have male plugs and why do some have female plugs on them? So I might have to do some research for that. But then again, I don't know whether this is even the real thing. So D1, oh, it's channel 2 and channel 2, and I went, okay, well, doesn't really say, does it? So I don't know. Interesting. I'm going to go off and do some reading, I think. I mean, look, I've got to keep it in perspective as well. 4 days ago, this was still in the box, and I hadn't touched it. Oh, speaking of boxes, hold on. Time for another exciting episode of Jim's Bargains. This little beauty. Oh, and I've got an upgrade for the workshop. I should put that together. Ta-da. These two boxes were purchased during the Boxing Day sale, 26% off. These two were the princely sum of $85.09. Normally they're $115. And then I bought two previously to this, and I had $24 discount from Super Cheap Auto Credit. So they were only, what's that, $60 and something, 39 cents or something like that. So these are really good, and these have got the long box. So this may become the toolbox for the Weiler show. I mean, the Bum Fudge Spectacular. Oh, I've said it. That's it. This stream's getting taken offline. So these are really cool. And of course, the big ones, well, what I'm wondering for the big ones, and obviously the body shell is going to be the determining factor. But if I were to start, I don't know, storing these RC cars, let's see, there he is. You know, the chassis fits for sure. Does the body shell fit? Hold on. The body shell almost fits. I think if I trimmed it, it would fit. Billy is very upset. I went through all my wire gauge things tonight. Couldn't find the right ones, but that's okay. A trip to Super Cheap or to J-Car tomorrow will resolve that. And we'll be back in business. So there we go. I hope Christmas was good for everyone. Hope Christmas was good for you, Matt. If anyone's interested in buying a second-hand DeWalt table saw, hit me up in the comments if you live in South Australia. Oh, there's more thunder. Oh, Billy. He's very sad about the thunder. Come on, Bill. Come on. Come on. Come in here. Oh, there you go. Workshop dog. But yeah. Oh, no, it does. I think I already showed this. I bought a reamer and some body scissors. so I'm ready to cut out. So I just want to get that done tomorrow. I've got these bullet connectors that I can't separate, which is probably not a good sign. If I destroy this one, I'm not going to worry, but at the same time, nope, that is not coming apart. So I might buy some different bullet connectors tomorrow, some that are, how would I say, a bit less shit. I think they've just kind of like cold welded themselves together through years of being stuck. But I mean, I've got a box of connectors and stuff, so maybe I've got some other type of, oh, aren't they? No, there's spade connectors. Oh, there's one. There's a Bujo connector. No, there's another one. I don't think they're anything special, those type of connector. There's, no, that one's already been used. Quite a few of the old connectors to identify as male. Oh, goodness me. Dog, there's another one. So I might need to go get some, might need to get some connectors that identify as the opposite tomorrow. But, yeah. Maybe I've got enough that I can separate them. I don't know. And some 14 or greater wire. This one says this one says 16 AWG and that one says 14. So I guess anything 14 or better would be ideal. Nope. No, Billy. Anyway, before the dog wakes everyone up in the neighbourhood. Oh, I'm sorry the day turned crappy, and I hope I'm not the one that brought on the crappiness. It often happens that I bring on the crappiness in people's days, but I don't try to do it. It just happens. All right. Until next time, everyone. Keep your banana and your piece of foam. I was really worried that I've missed a lot of steps, but keep the things that you might need where you might need them in relatively short access. All right. Bye.